Hello everybody, welcome to a series that I would like to introduce. Hopefully I will do more in the future. I think I will because I really like this character. I think I know a bit about him, and if I get anything wrong, please inform me in the comments. I am not the most experienced Meta Knight main out there, but I feel like I know enough to when I can have a voice on him and people will think that it is correct. So please, if I get anything wrong, please inform me and I will address it in a pinned comment or the description. So, today we're going to be talking about Meta Knight's forward air. And, first of all, this is Meta Knight's slowest aerial. It comes out, I don't know the exact frame. I think it is frame 9. And this move is his longest range aerial. And the problem with it is that, like what I've stated before, it is too slow. So sometimes when you're fighting someone and you have the same reaction time, you are on point, air to air, you're gonna sometimes just lose to a faster aerial. So that's why preemptively you have to throw it out in range. And that's one of Meta Knight's weakest parts of him, is that his air to air is pretty lackluster. His bear is fast, but has less range, and you're probably gonna lose to other moves. His down air is good air to air when you're above your opponent and pressuring them, as like dare camping. Up air is active for 1 frame, so it's kind of weird to go for. You can go for it preemptively if you're reading a jump, and that can lead to a ladder. But fair is your best air to air option if you are gonna go air to air. So this move is very interesting because it starts combos, it ends combos, and it has many variations of combos. So I will show you that now. The first part of Meta Knight's combos I'll show you is Fair 1. So you see how there are 3 parts of Meta Knight's Fair? There's 3 hits. You can do combos at all 3 of these, actually. So I'm going to show you all the Fair 1 combos. Fair 1 to Nair, Fair 1 to Fair 1 to Neutral B, Fair 1 to Bear, Fair 1 to Dare into a bridge, so you can do that into RAR. Down air if the percent is a bit higher than 0. As a kill confirm, Fair 1 to up B. Next, we're going to talk about Fair 2 combos, which is, there's a lot less, but it is still useful to go for. So, Fair 2 into down smash, Fair 2 into down tilt, Fair 2 to grab. Those are all the Fair 2 combos, much less because it does. It has a set knockback, but the window for getting combos is much less smaller than Fair 1. Next, we're gonna talk about Fair 3, and there's gonna be a lot less because we're gonna finish the hit, but we're gonna do landing Fair 3. I'm pretty sure you cannot get anything off of rising Fair 3. So all these combos, by the way, are falling. By the way, I'm pretty sure. Well, in the first place, you can't get rising fair ones. That doesn't make any sense. This is what rising fair looks like, which is you can only get hit 3 because you're obviously rising. That goes for pretty much all characters. Fair 3 goes into back air. Pretty much the only combo out of fair when your opponent is a breathing human is gonna be bear, which can actually lead into combos like dash attack and then into a ladder, which is pretty consistent. Yeah, so Fair 3 is not going to get you much, but it's still practical to go for if you're using Fair. So, a thing I will note about these Fair combos, you're like, wow, that sounds really good, I might do that a lot more, is that Fair 1, you gotta know about Fair 1, Fair 2, and not really Fair 3, is that you gotta, like, the only way you're really gonna get these combos, like, consistently, is, approaching with this, which is definitely not going to be safe on shield. So what really is going to happen is your opponent, when you're going for this just over and over again or trying and they're shielding, they're going to grab you. A thing you can do is retreating, which will only get you a couple of these combos, and which is still like what you saw there into Nair is still going to work. I'm trash at this game. Like, see, that was not a combo. Like, retreating is just, it's not as good. It is definitely not as good because you don't have the momentum of, like, keeping up and continuing that combo. And, like, Meta Knight just doesn't have much range, so doing retreating is obviously just not going to be as good. The best thing to look out for, and I talked about this with Shred, you might know him, go check him out, and is to call it out when they're spot dodging. So if your opponent is spot dodging, like they do an attack and you know they're gonna spot dodge, you can do the fair, like calling them out, and then go into a combo like a bridge, etc. Not super practical. It is still practical at higher percents, but you could just hold F smash and do that because F smash is broken. But you could definitely still go for a, when they spot dodge, you do jump fair 1 to up B, which is a kill confirm. It is always true. But watch out, up B can be kind of whack sometimes. It can miss, but that sometimes could be at your fault because up B has 3 angles of forward, middle, and back. But I'll talk about more about that in probably an up B episode. So we're gonna do a standard ladder on Charizard, but we ended with fair. Okay, so as you can tell, it's a true combo ending with 9. Fair is a practical use for ending ladders when the opponent is usually below or at 50% in general. But on some heavies, you might want to go for it higher percents. Example, Charizard. I learned that from the Meta Knight guide, which you should check out, made by Takumi. And I've learned from that, and I've noticed, yeah, you should that move has a ton of base knockback, and so when you see that, fair is gonna be your best move to go for as a set knockback at earlier percents. But compared to Nest's forward throw and back throw, at early percents, forward throw is going to, forward throw for Nest is going to be a lot stronger, a lot more knockback than back throw at early percents, where it goes nowhere. But at higher percents, as you may know if you play this game at all against Nest, because I hate that character, back throw is going to do a lot more knockback, while fair is going to stay fairly to 0. It's set knockback. But Meta Knight, at later percents, fair is still going to have a lot more knockback than it would at 0. It's going to be a lot less if you're going to go for a bear, for example. So, that's why during a ladder, when you're facing forward, you can't back air, so obviously you go for fair. The best thing to go for after 50% or so is Nair. That's going to have a lot more knockback at later percents. At 0, obviously Nair doesn't have a lot of knockback. You don't really want to end ladders with Nair at earlier percents. But fair, obviously, has that really high set knockback, look how far they go, that you want to do fair at earlier percents. And when you're starting out as Meta Knight, you're going to learn that there's these things called bridges, is where you carry your opponent to the blast zone, consisting of down airs and up airs. And the most practical way to do ladders, and most effective, is roaring your move, roaring your movement, so you're turned around and then you can finish with Bear. Because Bear is much stronger at later percents than Fair, and it's going to kill your opponent a lot earlier than Fair is doing a ladder. So if you're just scared to do that, a novice Meta Knight is definitely going to start just doing facing forward, just this, because it's very appealing. It's much easier, and you end with that. But that's just gonna kill much later than Bear. So later on, that's still if that's a comfort zone right now as Meta Knight, I would say do it, but as soon as possible, try to learn how to do Bear bridges. But I'm getting a bit off topic here because what we're supposed to talk about right now is fair. And might I add, in some matchups, Mario and I would say Pika, where they use their neutral B a lot in neutral, Meta Knight's fair can hit out those projectiles, and especially in the Mario matchup, you want to be spamming short hop fair a lot, because that is his longest range move for Meta Knights, and so it can kind of keep out Mario because Mario doesn't have much range, and it'll destroy his fireball. So that's very important in some matchups, some not as much. One thing I would like to point out about fair is that when your opponent is shielding, ranged fair like this is very useful at poking your opponent. Very, very, very useful, because it's most characters in the cast with the range when they're shielding, you're going to be fine. It is one of Meta Knight's safest options, and I very much recommend it. Okay, the last thing I will talk about for Meta Knight's fair is that during a fight, I have already told you that fair 1, fair 2, just approaching with Nair is not going to be safe on your opponent's shield. So something that you can do is do landing fairs off of the platform, which is just a lot more pressure, it is a lot faster, and it's much more neutral based. And Bonk showed me this kind of thing, doing fair off of platforms in neutral, and I do it a lot more now. It is very good. And shout out to Bonk, the best Meta Knight player in my opinion. And I recommend you go check out his Metafy and do coaching sessions with him. It's a lot of fun. And enough about that, but this is something that is very helpful to do with Meta Knight's Fair. Yeah, I think that is everything I want to talk about Meta Knight Fair. I am tired. I have school tomorrow. Hopefully this is informative to you, and let me know if you want to continue this as a series. Peace, guys. See ya.